concerning the underdevelopment of the economic bloc. Reporting for Channel Africa, this is Moki Kinzaka in Yaoundé, Cameroon.
Zambia has been hosting the Africa International Anti-Corruption Conference that has seen key matters around corruption being discussed. Declaration of assets by public office holders, which has exposed trends of African leaders such as dodging, over-declaring, or indeed refusing to publicly set their worth bare, was one among many topical debates. The Lusaka conference saw over 25 African countries attending, state and non-state actors, including the media, and a few countries beyond Africa through Transparency International chapters being part of the event. Our Zambia correspondent Arthur Davis Okopo has been attending and now reports.
It has been 2 full days of talking, strategizing, and mapping out on how to scale up the fight against corruption on the African continent. The IACC, hosted by Transparency International Zambia (TIZ), the IACC Committee and the Transparency International Secretariat looked at a wide range of issues like corruption and electoral integrity in Africa, leveraging on technology in evidence generation and regional advocacy, and the nexus between environmental corruption and inequality in Africa. On public office holders and accountability, matters of asset declaration came up, and it seems most African countries are still struggling with those holding public office, failing, manipulating, or indeed dodging to declare their assets, a great concern to anti-corruption actors. A delegate from Nigeria gives a perspective from their country.
Because of the controversy around the current president assets, the CCB was asked to actually make his asset declaration public. And the next thing we knew, the Code of Conduct Bureau came out and said the store where his asset declaration was kept had gotten burnt and everything was destroyed. And that was how we couldn't get access to, that information.
Another concern is coming from a delegate from Kenya on over-declaring assets and wealth.
But what we have found in the last couple of years is that people tend to over-report, or rather over-declare their wealth. Say if I was undergoing a vetting process, I would probably say I have 2 million. I'm worth 2 million USD when I could actually just be worth 500,000, in the next 2 years, and try to track my wealth. You say, okay, yes, you declared 2 million, so that's reasonable that you are now at say 3 million USD.
Zambia's president, Hakainde Hichilema, for about 3 years now, has been pressed to declare his assets, but he seems to be among some of those leaders that have not heeded to moral cause to declare their assets, as he has remained mute, despite him proclaiming of wanting to run a corrupt-free government. Musa Mwenye, the board chairperson of the Anti-Corruption Commission of Zambia (ACC), is defending his boss that there is no requirement for a president to declare their assets after assuming office, as opposed to other officers like ministers, among others, that are required to declare their assets.
We do not have in our declaration infrastructure, and we haven't had it, as far as I can remember, for any sitting president to be required to declare after election.
Former South Africa's outspoken public protector, Professor Thuli Madonsela, now with the IACC Council, shares with the audience some key components and examples from her country.
In South Africa, in terms of asset recovery, we've got 3 regimes. One is the asset forfeiture regime. It's civil, so it doesn't wait for the criminal justice process. If there's enough evidence, we carry charge who allows the freezing of your assets. The second regime is a slightly less effective. This is the bargaining one.
Ruben Lifuka, the IACC chairperson, describes the conference as enlightening, pointing out corruption from a gender perspective.
And I would have wanted us to already start thinking of what is it that we can do beyond just raising awareness on the existence of sextortion. Do we have sufficient laws that would help us deal with a emerging trend?
As the meeting closes, fundamentals like building a global economy through promoting business and public sector integrity were being discussed. Reporting for Channel Africa in Lusaka, Zambia, I'm Arthur Davis, Scopo.
that is coming out of Zambia with Arthur Davis Sukopo, and he was speaking about the fact that Zambia is hosting the Africa International Anti-Corruption Conference that here has been attended by over 25 African countries and state and non-state actors, including the media and a few countries beyond Africa. And now this is through Transparency International chapters being part of the event. That report by Arthur Davis Sukopo. This is Africa in Business, and I'm Lulu Gabu in for Tami Ngubeni.
Africa in Business on Channel Africa. Weekdays from 1 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.
Black Industrialists and Exporters Conference is currently underway in Johannesburg, South Africa. The Black Industrialist Program seeks to increase the participation of Black South Africans in the ownership and control of productive enterprises in key sectors and value chains of the country's economy. For more